So you've mentioned Western music a couple of times. Well, first off, actually, before we go on to that, have you got any formal education in music? Are you completely self-taught?
For the most part, I was self-taught. I didn't really take any instrument lessons. I took one instrument lesson my whole life
Hmm.
from this bass player who did this really cool tapping stuff. This guy David Drake, who did some really interesting thumb stuff and tapping stuff, and
Yeah.
just trying to wrap my head around how he was doing Montunos. But for the most part, it was all self-taught. But I did study Western music theory at community college here.
Right.
And I studied that for a while, and that was really great because you have to take vocal classes. You have to be in choir, which I didn't want to do. You know, I wanted to listen to Primus and Metallica and screw that singing stuff, especially the pretty singing stuff. Oh, get me out of there. But you have to, and it's really valuable to do that to work up a solo piece for voice, to take music theory and all that kind of stuff. So I did music theory, and I did the whole program as far as that goes. And then I went on to study at the Ali Akbar College of Music,
Hmm.
which is the largest Hindustani music school in the world. Ali Akbar Khan is just this. It's really not saying too much to say he's like the Beethoven of Indian music. I mean, he's really a big deal, and he just passed away a few years ago. But before he passed away, he set up schools all over the country, all over the world. There's a school in India, there's a school, I think, in the Netherlands or something like that. But he came to live in California. So that was the school that was his biggest school.
Mm.
And I was drawn to that because the classical guitar teacher, Matthew Grosso, he was very into Indian music and was turning me on to this stuff. So he's like, "Oh, you have to go to the school. It's the world famous school. It's only 45 minutes away. It's affordable. Go." And I'm like, "I don't know if I want to play Indian music." He's like, "I don't care. You need to go check out this school."
Yeah.
So I went and studied at the Ali Akbar College of Music for about a year and a half as well. Studying and a regular guitar or bass wasn't really appropriate instrument there to get all those subtle things. So I actually I modified a 12-string guitar to be a lap slide steel guitar with a bunch
Yep.
of sympathetic strings. So I played the Hindustani slide guitar and then vocals and that kind of stuff, studying that. So I've studied Western classical music and then Hindustani Indian music
Yeah,
as
well,
well.
that's kind of answers my next question as I was writing notes here and stuff, and my next question was going to be whether you've sort of had or you've had any any teachings or learnings in Indian type music or Eastern types of music, and because they're very different, aren't they? Um,
Oh yeah.
and it sounds like you have, so you've answered that question for me. Are
Yeah,
you
no.
give us any sort of that sort of music on your hybrid now at all?
Yeah. I mean, it's really everyone. There are so many people, so many musicians, especially jazz musicians or anybody who just wants to better themselves and learn more about music. They'll go take some classes at the Ali Akbar College of Music. They'll take one class or something like that,
Yeah.
and that's it. I mean, for the most part, I can't tell you how many guitarists, metalhead, this and that will go there. They'll take one class. They'll sell all their gear. They'll go buy a sitar or a sarod, and that's it. They dedicate the rest of their life to Indian music. I mean, it's really infectious, and it's this
Yeah.
beautiful kind of overall way of life. Um, I didn't. I was raised Jewish and had a bar mitzvah and all that kind of stuff, but I was never a spiritual person. I always thought it was just ridiculous. And what are you guys talking about? Very, very atheist. But then when I started studying at the Ali Akbar College of Music and started hearing the teacher's musings on spirituality and music being the religion and
Yep.
music being the truth, that just really resonated with me. And I found out I actually was a lot more of a spiritual person than I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's really great. I think so. You're asking if I incorporate it into this instrument. To a certain degree, I do. Like I got this plus pedal from Game Changer Audio that really kind of allows me to do some drones. Because in Indian music, there's almost always a drone instrument, whether it's the tempura or the harmonium or something like that. There's usually a drone instrument. So I really like that kind of thing. So I will occasionally kind of do like a improvised like a lop type of thing where I'll incorporate that into as an intro or an outro or even in the middle of a song, just because I can do whatever the hell I want because I'm playing by myself. I'm playing solo. I don't need to tell the drummer or tell the bass player to stop. I just do whatever I want. So yeah, this Game Changer Plus pedal kind of allows me to do this, like make a just a major chord, and it's nice with this instrument. I have this low E here or low notes. So that kind of gives another kind of drone. kind of just meditative stuff, and I get lost in that for 5 or 10 minutes easily.
Oh, man,
So.
that sounded ace. I just love it. It's mesmerizing, isn't it? You know,
Oh yeah. No, it's a lot of fun to just it's all encompassing that kind of music, just very spiritual for me.
it is. It's just it's all those in between notes, isn't it? You know, and you know, the vibrato on some of the bends and in between. It's just fantastic. I mean, you know, you've got lots of Western guitarists use it, like you hear Derek Trucks use it quite a bit when he's playing slide.
He went to the same school that I did. He actually went to the Akbar College of Music and studied with the same teacher I did. Yeah.
That's where it comes from then.
No, it's the same thing. Yeah, well, that drone gives you the home note. It gives you that tonic. And then when you have that tonic note just static, every other note really forces you to examine the relationship between that note and the tonic note. So here's your home note, right? Then it really forces you. So if you're hearing that, say that sharp 7, it really forces you to kind of hear that dissonance and appreciate that dissonance, and then appreciate that tension and resolve. I think is really what it does. So yeah, I really love that type of music.
It's captivating, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
really captivating. So oh no, thanks very much. That was lovely. So you've won a few awards and accolades, haven't you? I mean, I've got a few written down here. Voted best jazz musician or group of the North Bay.
Yeah.
You've got a few others. So if you want to tell us a bit about those.
Yeah. I've been fortunate to win a couple awards here and there. There's a local newspaper here, publication that goes around, and it's all about the arts and this and that. And every year they'll do a best of. They do a best of stuff for restaurants as well, but they do a best of just for musicians, bands, and it's a bunch of different categories. Jazz. It's never enough categories, right? There's no funk category at all. So you just got to do what you can. But so I was fortunate enough to win that. I think a year or two ago. And I was nominated again this year, so we'll see how that goes. I won that same award in a different category a couple years ago as best acoustic musician, which was quite a surprise because I really don't play acoustic very often at all. So I don't even understand exactly how I won that, but I'm not gonna give it back. So that's fine. But yeah, those are all voting things. I've won a couple things here and there. I won a guitar one time in a contest at NAMM, which was fun. I won some stuff at a Arkansas fingerstyle competition one time, which is interesting, and it kind of follows me these days because I was born and raised in California, and Arkansas is a whole nother country than California. I mean, technically we're part of this United States, but Arkansas is a whole nother country. So my mom lived down there, and there are only, I think, 4 or 5 national guitar fingerstyle competitions going on in the U.S. Like one in Kansas is the biggest one, the Winfield competition. I think there was one in Vancouver, British Columbia, which is Canada, maybe one other one. So very, very few competitions. So I couldn't just go play in the California fingerstyle competition. So when I found out that, I knew my mom was living in Arkansas, when I found out that competition was going on there, flew out to go visit her and to try and play some fingerstyle in that competition. And I ended up, it was interesting, it was 2 competitions. It was a contemporary fingerstyle, and it was a thumb picking competition, Merle Travis thumb picking competition. And I refused to use a thumb pick, and I still came in second in the thumb picking competition with no thumb pick. I was quite proud of that, actually. And then I got first in the contemporary fingerstyle, which was interesting. And that was a trip because I wasn't allowed to play an 8-string at all. So I had to kind of go down there and brush up on a 6-string, which is really a little different in a lot of ways. And so it was fun to try and compete on that, and be in a competition type of environment is a lot of fun to prep for that and to hear all the other great players and all that kind of stuff. So it was a lot of fun. Fortunate to pull that one out.
Oh wow, excellent. And have you done much traveling as a professional musician? Has your music and career taken you very far? Traveling.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to travel, and my wife loves to travel as well. We love experiencing different cultures. We love the food a lot, and we love a lot of tropical type of warm weathers. So I travel a lot. I've been going back and forth to Maui, Hawaii, quite a bit for the last few years, and just going out there. It's an amazing place. There's so many venues out there that have music every day of the week because every day is Saturday in Hawaii. So you go out there and you can play all the time and go swim and this and that. So I've been fortunate to be able to go out there for months at a time and make a living playing music, and then occasionally do other little tours here and there. Like I'll fly out to Nashville, and then from Nashville drive out to a couple different places out there and do tours. I did cooking school out in France a few years ago with my wife. So that was the main goal of that, but I brought my travel instrument with me and got a chance to play a couple clubs out in France as well. And I think I played one place in London. I don't remember exactly where it was, but it wasn't Ronnie Scott's. I'll have to book that for next time I get out there. But yeah, so I get out a fair amount, and yeah, I had all kinds of different plans. You know, there's different things like Colorado Archtop Festival that I'll go do. So I've definitely done some plans for touring, but done some touring. But I was looking forward to doing a bunch of touring this year, and didn't exactly happen as everybody, you know, everybody's touring plans are canceled, so that's rough. But yeah, I've gotten a chance to my music has gotten a chance to take me some different places, and it's always fun, always interesting to see how different regions play music. Like you go out to Hawaii and the gig is 2 hours. You can take as many breaks as you want, pretty much, and it's very relaxed. You go out to go play in New Orleans, the gig is 5 hours. You can take 1 5-minute break, but the goal is to keep everybody on the dance floor because if you're not playing, they're just going to walk into the club next door. So it's very interesting how I've gotten at least to travel enough to see how regional music is and how different it is. So it's neat.